Now, the Democratic Alliance has laid a complaint with the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa over the SABC's decision to interrupt normal programming to take an ANC address by party president Cyril Ramaphosa. It's given the public broadcaster an ultimatum to play its package on the party's response to the ANC's land expropriation without compensation policy. The party is accusing the SABC of bias. SABC spokesperson Kaiser Kganyago joins us now on the line to chat more about this. Mr. Kganyago, thank you so much for your time. What is your response to what the Democratic Alliance has had to say, first of all?
No, firstly, we understand that it is their right to take this matter to the BCCSA if that is what they want to do. But we will then defend ourselves from them because we very clear that we are a news channel, and because of the information that comes, we do that. What we do for everybody, and they give people a wrong impression that we interrupted a normal programming to allow for this. This was coming to us like any other press or information from the party, be it from the DA, be it from anywhere else. It comes to us in a form of a video, and the video is played as part of news. And we have then since talked to other people, including the DA, to respond to it. They chose to send the spokesperson of the leader of the DA to speak on us the following morning on Morning Live and respond to what was said. For us, it was not a special treatment. They go around saying that we interrupted programming, but that did not happen. We received the clip like any other media house. The other channel, I think ENCA, also received it the same way, the same time, and they played it the same way, the same time. And they decided to target us because for whatever reason they want to target us for. But that for us is something that we'll have to put clearly when it comes to that. For an example, they themselves, when they issued a statement around the issue of taking us to the BCCSA, they even sent a clip from the DA shadow minister. And that's exactly what happened with the previous one. It's exactly the same thing. The ANC wanted to communicate a message by the ANC president, and they sent us a clip that we used like any other person would have used.
But that's one thing that the Democratic Alliance was arguing, was they were arguing whether or not this was worthy of being news, the broadcast of the president's announcement of the party's stance on land expropriation without compensation. They said that, this is an ordinary address and, really sort of raising the rationale that the SABC had behind actually airing this.
Yeah, but the reality of the matter is they now want to get into the realm of dictating what they think is newsworthy and what they think it is not. And that is tantamount to interference. For an example, over the weekend, we did a press conference of the DA leader with the other mayors of the province. Somebody from another party can say, why did you cross live to that interview? Mm-hmm. The other day, we did a press conference live of the DA leader with Patricia de Lille. Somebody else will say, was it that important for you to cross live to this thing? When it happens to them, it's fine. When it happens to somebody else, it's not fine. And for me, they must be fair about this thing, because what is different from playing a clip that was sent to you, which you at that particular time deem, because of the editorial independence in your newsroom, it's not even management. The newsroom decides this is something that is topical, we're going to play it. The same way as they decide that taking the press conference of the DA with Patricia de Lille is topical, we will take it live. Okay, those are decisions that are done in the newsroom. Therefore, nobody from outside must now come and say, no, you should not have made that decision or not, because that is tantamount to trying to interfere.
Okay, now going back a little, they filed with the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. They're awaiting your response as the SABC. Have you received their application, their file?
We have received the thing, and they did the response by tomorrow. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes.
So now, what's the next step now? So now, do you have any plans? Are there plans in the pipeline to air that message?
Obviously, you are trying to make us respond to the BCCA on your platform, which is something that is problematic. We will respond directly to the BCCSA because now the matter has been referred. Therefore, we'll have to deal with the BCCSA process before anything can happen.
All right. Now, I spoke to Ms. Van Dam yesterday on another program right here on the channel, and she said that, in light of recent events here at the SABC, making an example of what's happening, what happened now with the whole ANC land issue and the footage, and she said that this is reminiscent of what happened, of what she heard during the ad hoc committee, the hearings into the affairs of the public broadcaster a few years ago. What is your response to that?
We just reject that with the contempt that it deserves, because here, like I say to you, these are editorial decisions. Our newsroom, they are the ones who always propagate the fact that our newsroom must be independent from influence from anybody. And that anybody must include them. You understand? Because you cannot come and say you need a right of reply. Right of reply happens if somebody has spoken about you and you want to respond to it. That message was not speaking about the DA for them to deserve to have a right of reply. It was speaking about the land issue. And we then approached them and said, do you have any response to that? They sent a spokesperson of the leader to come and speak on Morning Live. We've got that footage. Therefore, you cannot now say you were not given an opportunity to respond when you were there through your spokesperson. It's like the SABC, you are now speaking to me, and then the SABC says, no, you did not give us the right of reply. When I speak on the behalf of the SABC.
And lastly, Mr. Kganyago, before I let you go, the DA had also expressed concern over the SABC's financial affairs. We had Phumzile Van Dam say that, you as the broadcaster need to appear before Parliament to explain your cash problems and, and saying that, this does obviously, pose a problem. And recently we saw the letter that was circulated on social media regarding, the SABC's inability to pay certain service providers. What's your reaction to that? Regarding, the SABC's financial state?
Yeah, obviously by now, all the media houses should be knowing that it's public knowledge by now that we are in a financial liquidity problem. And we've been saying this since last year. It's not something that is new. And for them to make it look like it's something that they just heard about, it cannot be true. Because we have been explaining this thing. By now, you know that we have applied for a government guarantee almost over 18 months ago. And that is at that point when we realized we've got a financial problem and we needed to move and do something about it. And we're doing something about it. And the Parliament is knowledgeable about this matter because it happened prior to the interim board, or at the time of the interim board up until now. And we're still waiting for this government guarantee. Therefore, it's not new that we are in a financial crisis. The mere fact that for 1 month we were unable to pay some of the independent producers, that is when they are now coming up. But over a period of time, there were other creditors that we were not able to pay.
Okay, now, Mr. Kganyago, they've taken you to the BCCSA, and now you're away. You're going to, follow BCCSA's, processes as far as dealing with this is concerned. But I want to know, had the DA not approached the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, would you have given in to their demand for you to air that message by Mmusi Maimane?
If they want to communicate anything, they must communicate it to us and leave us to make up our own mind in terms of editorial independence. They mustn't want to speak about it because somebody else spoke about it. Because in this particular instance, like I gave an example, the editors will, when they want to do something, they must send it to the editors in the news people, and they will make up their mind about the issue in an independent fashion. When they wanted to do a press conference now, with the Delil and the press conference over the weekend with the mayor of Tshwane and Johannesburg, they sent this thing to the newsroom, and the newsroom made up their mind and covered them. Therefore, that is process. They mustn't now override the process. by trying to say, because somebody has said we reserve the right to do 1, 2, 3. That's not how it works.
Kaiser Kganyago, always a pleasure. Much appreciated there. That's the SABC spokesperson, Kaiser Kganyago.